Nope. It says we're live.
Hello, world.
And all right. So tonight in the Zoom room, we're going to be talking about shorts. As small creators, there's different opinions on whether shorts help a channel to grow, whether they're a distraction, whether you get subscribers that will actually grow your base, or if they kind of come and go more leisurely because they're a completely different kind of viewer. We are going to approach this not as having the answers, but maybe from the perspective of deducing clues based on what we've seen through our experiences and have a dialogue around that. So I'm Renee, and I'm hosting the Zoom room. For shorts, currently, my strategy is about when I get around to them. I don't really focus on doing shorts, but if I can make some shorts, then I do. But I haven't really incorporated shorts as a strategy for imperfect on purpose channel growth. And I'm going to shoot over to you, Kyle, and you could introduce yourself and tell us kind of where you are at with shorts.
Okay, so I have my channel name is Cheddar Boy E. I spread cheese and good vibes, kind of goofy, funny encouragement. And yeah, for shorts, I started on shorts actually when I started my channel. I just thought they were easier. I think they're a good stepping stone to kind of get your feet wet if you're not comfortable doing longer formats. So I mean, I think starting on them, yeah, it really kind of helped. So I kind of started on them, and now I'm transitioning over to long form. So like the first month I was pretty much all shorts. I was doing kind of like goofy music videos, kind of goofy like Weird Al parodies for like 20 seconds, and I was doing kind of voting things and stuff like that. Probably for the first month, and now I've transitioned over into long form, and I think it really helped get my feet wet.
Excellent. And Bruce.
Hi, my name is Bruce Pelton. My channel name is Built Not Hacked. My channel is geared toward parents who want to improve their communication and relationship skills at home. I have never updated a short. Oh, let me tell you, I just passed my 90 days on YouTube. Woohoo!
Congrats. Hey,
It's an accomplishment.
good job, man.
Posting 2 long-form videos a week for 90 days straight. But let's get back to shorts. No, I have never done shorts on my channel. I've only posted long-form videos. And did you just want to start with that and then ask some additional questions like why or why not?
Right. So
Okay.
that was my first question for you, was going to be, why have you chosen not to do shorts at all?
Well, the biggest reason for me is that I'm not a big consumer of shorts in my personal life when I'm just consuming content. Shorts are everywhere. They're on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook Reels and YouTube Shorts. I just don't consume that kind of content. I'm kind of an old soul and an old user of YouTube where I kind of um, used YouTube as like plugging yourself into the matrix when I needed to know how to do something like change a tire or how to mount the brakes on a car or change the spark plugs or something like that. And I wanted a very specific long form video to show me in detail my model of vehicle, exactly all the things that the tools that I was going to need, any complications that I would have run into. So you can't really relay that type of information in a short. So I think just based on my viewing preferences, like personally, I've never consumed that kind of content, so I wasn't really aware of making content like that for somebody else for my channel. Although maybe at the end of this conversation, I might be, you guys might change my mind.
Excellent. So I just want to make sure. So you didn't make the choice because you've heard the recent advice, which there is more recent advice out there that mixing short form videos with long form videos actually hurts a channel. So that was not anything that you took into consideration, and it was more you approached YouTube kind of as your experience as a user, correct?
Well, that's where my initial hesitation came from with making short form content. And I know that there's easy software out there, like maybe Opus Clips or I think maybe vidIQ. You can put a long form video in there, and it'll kind of select like the best parts of your clip. It'll add text to it, and you can even add music or whatever. But it'll kind of like format the short for you. And so you can find ways to do it really easy. But my initial hesitation was that that's not really content that I consume. Now, I questioned whether or not the viewer that came from a short form piece of content to my long form video was going to be a viewer that was going to subscribe, comment on videos, and just interact with my content, because they're so used to the quick dopamine fix of scroll, 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 scroll. And I don't know how much of that traffic that I wanted to come onto my long form channel, where short form users come over to that, they see the content in the long form version of it, and then they just bounce. And I really kind of thought that that would kill my momentum that I was trying to build with my long form subscribers and building a community.
Okay. So basically you did factor in some of the advice that we hear on YouTube about you don't want people showing up and bouncing and then questioning, the type of person that comes out of the short view. So I want to jump over to Kyle. And the first question I want to ask all of us, because in order to have like an effective conversation, I think we actually need to define channel growth and be on the same page as to what channel growth is in the context of this conversation, because we could have a whole other entire conversation on what channel growth is, because it really could be anything. So Kyle, what in the context of discussing whether or not shorts are going to help your channel to grow, and in the context of as somebody who utilizes shorts even more than I do, when you're thinking channel growth, Kyle, what metric or metrics are you looking at or
So
thinking about?
actually, the homework you gave me actually was pretty really helped. I kind of tell me how much. So basically, the big metric that was, do short viewers watch your long form? And I went into the metric. So to back up, I used to do straight shorts, and I would do my own shorts, and they'd be creative shorts, and they would, I would tailor them to shorts. And then once I transferred to the long form, I pretty much stopped doing creative shorts, and I would it's called, you can remix. I think Bruce had a different way of easy, but you can do it on the app and remix your shorts or your longs into shorts. So I've been kind of using them kind of as trailers to my long form. Since I've been doing that, I've gotten basically out of 18 of my long form, I've gotten 1,882 views. 48 have come from shorts. So it's like like a little over 2%. A little bit, every little
Yeah.
bit helps. Like I actually did a short like right after he sent that email. I did the opening of my old shutter where I walked around the yard and shine. I just did the hook, and it might be, I might have found another use. It's good for testing your hook, even if you just do like the first 20 minutes. Because this one, like 52% stayed to watch, and that's good for, at least for me. Sometimes, but when you're in shorts, you go to the engagement tab. There's a 52% stay to watch. So I kind of maybe found another use to it. Hey, how was my hook? If you do that, because at 52 stay to watch, that means my hook was decent, or good.
Yeah, that sounds
Okay.
like a good idea. I'd never thought of that.
Yeah, I've never thought of that easy either. So
Nor
let's
did
talk
I.
about that a
But
little
no,
bit more,
no.
but I actually want to clarify something that Peter is putting in the
Oh,
chat
sure.
as well as something you said. So you are the one that introduced me to the remix idea, and I have tried it, and it is super easy.
Yes.
But Peter and both you said as a trailer to an upcoming long form. So in my brain, I make the long form and I post the long form, then I make the remix, and then I put up the short. Am I doing it differently than how you're doing it? Do
You're
you
doing it the
put the
same way
short
I
up?
do it. Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't do it. I wait till I post the actual long form and then I'll cut my remixes off or my shorts out of
Okay,
that. Yeah,
so you do post your long form first,
correct. Now I think you
and
can
then
if
you
you
make an
unlist it,
okay.
right?
All
If you
right.
unlist it, I think you can.
Okay.
But I might as well, then people get a sneak peek. Maybe that's something you could do. It's an idea. I don't know, but I'm like you, Renee. I wait till I actually post the long, and then I'll
I'm going to ask Peter just so, again, I'm trying to, the purpose of these discussions is for small channels to learn different
Mhm.
techniques. Do you post the long?
I think he said he doesn't do it. He's just saying that's something you could do. I mean, that is
Oh,
something you could do.
okay. Well, we'll see if he answers.
But
So, all right. So then I'm on the same page as you. And Bruce, to his credit, I started thinking, so I did what Kyle did early on. I started with shorts because I think shorts were
Okay.
easy entry.
hmm
You, Bruce, you were so like comfortable in front of the camera, and I did the interview with you if anyone wants to watch that on how you came to YouTube like more comfortable. I think a lot of us have to shed some fear of being on camera,
Yeah.
and a 60-second video of being on camera is a lot easier than trying to fill 5 minutes. And so I did creative shorts, and they actually did quite well. But then I realized like watch time and all those metrics were like really against you. And so then I
hmm
switched
Mhm.
to long form. And then I do believe there was validity to the people not like flowing over. And so then I
Yeah.
kind of took like hiatus from the shorts, and that's where I started to learn from Kyle about this remix feature. So
Mhm.
Kyle, you talked about those things, and I do want to get back to this idea of a good way to use shorts as maybe a test on hooks. But before we get there, did you answer the question? Because you might have, and I'm trying to manage the chat as well. Did you
Sure, yeah.
answer the question on what you look at for growth? So if I ask
Oh
Kyle,
yeah.
what is
Okay.
channel growth to you with shorts?
So, well, at first I was just kind of going for subscribers, right? I wanted the numbers, or I was playing a video game, I wanted to get 100. And
Yeah.
now I'm changing it a little bit. Obviously I want engaged viewers. I want people who are going to come back. I want people, I want to build a following, an audience of people that are going to my long form. So I really don't care about I'm done doing creative shorts, at least for now. Um, I'm focusing everything on the long form. I want to build regular viewers from my long form videos. That's what I would think growth is. Not just a number. And it's interesting too. Like I on the just today, the one I just did like an hour ago, I got a sub, but they did not watch the long form video. So does that really count as anything? I mean, is it a
Okay.
like
So
that's the thing. Does it hurt? Is it
you're
gonna?
saying that you
Yeah,
started out for subs. That
yeah,
was your original goal or
yeah,
metric or channel growth metric that you were
yeah.
looking for. And now you're looking at more community engagement.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the context of, so I'm going to table it there. I know that Bruce, you don't have any shorts, but if I ask you the same question, what are you when you're looking at growth? So if you're saying, "Hey, I want my channel to grow," what is the metric that you're looking at most?
Growth to me is unique viewers to my channel, people who have not seen my content before, subscribers, people who you know felt that the content that I made resonated with them, and making them a part of the community so that they're engaged with the videos, they're commenting. Um, and to me, all of that has grown with my channel, um, albeit small. But when I look at a metric from the beginning to now, I do see a measurable upward trend of viewer engagement, many, many, many more comments on my videos than I used to. Although my subscriber growth is quite small, my views are climbing, my unique visitors to my channel are climbing. So, I mean, I don't think that, to answer your question, views alone should be a measurement of your channel growth.
Views, subs. Yeah, right. Okay. So I have never personally looked at views as much as well, it's views and subs, right? Like
Right.
think I'm in the category with Kyle of like I set out and I'm like, okay, how quick can I get to 1,000? And as we all
Yeah.
learned, that's like, running the marathon with Chariots of Fire playing, right? Like at this point, it's in the distance there. Um, but I want to bring in something we discussed, I guess, because I want to get us on the same topic to have a really good conversation about shorts. If we remember from our last Zoom room, we talked about views, and from just diving into our analytics, we kind of came up with roughly, 1,000 views per getting a subscriber.
Hmm.
Give or take, right?
I
There's
got
a margin of,
945. It's almost
right?
right.
So,
Like I did it. 945 was
yeah, so
my
yours is
average.
a better, yours is slightly better. I think Linda's was slightly higher and mine was right around the 1,000 mark.
Mhm.
So, and if there's a margin of error, is it 10%? I don't know because we're not
Mhm.
really diving in that deep. So it kind of made me think over this past week that maybe we are thinking about it wrong because I've always looked more at subscribers and the community, and to Bruce's credit, there's this trajectory of more viewers, more returning viewers. But if we are to let's have a conversation about this idea of views, because if we can drive views so that we can get more growth in the idea of 1,000, you get to 1,000, then in theory you should get one. And it's again margin of error. So are you guys okay with maybe framing it that way for this topic of discussion?
Well,
Yeah, I
like
mean, I think that just based on what you said for the 1,000 views per subscriber,
Hmm.
I'm already taking off to the moon.
Yeah.
Just looking here, I've only like literally channel wide, I only have 528 views across like 30 videos,
Hmm.
and I have 12 subscribers. So I'm way ahead of the game.
Right. So, and as we know with YouTube, our metrics, you'll have bursts and then leveling
Yeah.
out. And so, but so again, so that I would hope helps you feel a lot better, right? About like, wow, that count, maybe that count feels small, but it's really not. Comparatively, your numbers are better than mine and Kyle's combined, like that kind of idea.
Well,
So if we
yeah.
look at views in the context of shorts. And I do want to say, because I did ask Peter the question, so Peter actually does use his as a teaser. He says that he schedules his long form to go public, and then he puts the short out first. I did ask him if he had any data to share, and he said he uploaded shorts to his channel and he gained over 17,000 views as opposed to not uploading his shorts. When he uploaded one short and got 40 new subscribers from that one short. I'd really like
Hmm.
to know. We'll have to have him on to talk
wow.
about that one short. He said shorts will get you new viewers. They may not subscribe, but the views do get your channel in front of new people. And he said in 2025, his channel got 1,700 views with no shorts. And then from February of this year to today, he has over 21,000 views. And that's from using
Wow.
shorts and long form together. And
Yeah.
so,
Good job, Peter.
yeah, thanks, Peter, for
Mhm.
sharing that. Like, you've been such an awesome addition to our community. We love having you
Mhm.
in it. I met Peter because he gave me hope. Like when he took a little break because he got frustrated. Like I think a lot of us feel that way. And then he came back and he's stronger now and he has a plan. So I know, Bruce, that you don't have a lot of, experience in the shorts, but what I think I have enough experience in what I did wrong and
Mhm.
what I'm learning from watching Kyle and talking with Kyle, and then obviously what Peter just shared. So there's this strategy of just remixing them right from your long form content. And I
Okay.
did go back even on old videos and I tried this once Kyle had kind of and actually it's kind of tricky. So
It
maybe
can be. And
if anyone's like wanting to know how to do that, drop us in the comments and I might send you over to Kyle and give him total
thank
cred for
you.
that because
Wow.
he was the one that helped me figure it out because it's kind of hard to find and
It
that's
is.
annoying,
Yeah.
but you
It might be
can
easier to do it in
remix.
CapCut,
I
and
know, right? Like, why do they do that? So,
yeah.
but for in the way of sharing data, I did, I went back on old videos and made a bunch of remix ones and just let them run because I figure why not? And I think I got one sub from one of them. And,
Okay.
but I like this idea, Kyle. So let's go back to you about another way to maybe use shorts, and that's to test
Mhm.
your hook. So
Oh,
if somebody wants to try this, can you be very succinct and clear on like what steps they should do to maybe try it?
yeah, so I like Peter's idea too, and I might try that about testing your hook. So he made the idea, and this is Peter's idea, that you can upload your long form like as private. I think you probably have to do it as unlisted or private. I don't know, you have to play around with it. And who knows, can you do it if it's not live? I don't know. I think Peter's saying you can to just make a short of like the first 15 seconds, put it out there, and then you can see how many people stayed to watch. And I'm kind of finding like at least for me, like 50% is good. Whether that's what I've been finding. Like sometimes I've gotten like 20% stayed to watch, which is bad. But I think I've gotten less than that. I think I had 15%. But anything like around 40 to 50, I consider good for me at least.
Hmm.
So I don't know if
Yeah.
that's good or not, but yeah, I think that's something I'm definitely going to try is before I publish it, make a short 15 seconds or whatever, the first, and then see how many people swipe away. That's something that Peter just popped in my mind, but I can't remember. Did I answer your first question before I went on
Yeah,
that
no,
tangent?
I was asking if you
Oh,
could
how to do
walk
it.
viewers
How to do
through
it.
like
Yes.
how you, just like a very short, like this is
Yes.
how I would approach it.
So you have to do it on the app for some reason. You cannot. I don't, why you can't do it on Studio? It's one of those goofy things, right? You have to do it on the app, on the regular YouTube app too, not Studio. You have to do it on the normal YouTube app, like you're watching a normal video. You go to your channel and you watch your video. And there was a guy. His name was like Rolling to Retirement. He's one guy. He taught me how to do this. But so this isn't my. He taught me, and I'm just passing it forward. Um, but you go in and you you go into your channel and then you like watch your video like you're watching a video. And then they changed it. There was a remix option, but I think they changed it. Now it's under the share. I think they moved it around. For a second there I thought you couldn't do them anymore, but it's like under the share option, and then you hit remix, and then you kind of got to play around with it. I really had a fight with it. I'm getting the hang of it now. It's finicky on your phone. You can like add text and stuff. Like that's one thing I tried. I put like full video comment or link below, but I don't think that really helped too much. I think you know. Um, but you can add text to it, and you can either make it 15 seconds or 60 seconds. So it's just finicky about, and then like if you, it's just, it's finicky. Sometimes it cuts you short, and the it's hard to explain. Like the thing on the bottom, it's hard to tell you. It's hard to tell when it actually ends, and then once you hit the next step, and then you go back, like I can't figure. I get like lost, and I can't get back into it. So, but as long as you don't try to be perfect, like the one that I did today, like I cut it off a little bit short. I'm like, I ain't gonna mess around trying to do that stuff. The last word I cut off, I'm like, I'm just gonna ship it because I'm not gonna mess around trying for 5 minutes trying to get it perfect. And it's doing good. I got like four, almost 500 views in a sub. So, and but like, is that sub worth anything? That's a good,
Well, I
probably
would,
not.
we shouldn't. So I would
Um,
say, as small creators, for me, every sub matters, right? Like every sub matters. Even if, so
Yeah.
I hate to say like somebody's not worth anything or a sub's not worth
yeah, but if
anything.
they're not watching your long form, is it
Right. But, but you got to realize, so I mean, this is the manifesting of me coming out.
okay? Sure.
It's so what, right? Like
You know,
let's stop listening to all this like negative stuff. But what if you found somebody that's going to watch every short that you put out? Then that's
and,
still part of your community. And you could
I
even
mean,
try to like call that person out and say, hey, make a one-off short that's not a clip and see how that does. And say, I'm making this for all my shorts. If find a way to, I guess, include or engage them if you really think that there's not a crossover. I want to quickly, Peter's chatting up a lot, so I do want to add him in here. He says that um, what he does is he uploads his video to schedule live, to go live on Monday, and then he'll clip the video while it's still private, and then put the short to go live on Sunday. So he'll have the short come out on Sunday, and then the video comes out on Monday. And and then he just says, yeah, he says very similar. Use the editing app in YouTube. So, and like as Kyle
oh,
was
you can use
walking
the
through,
editing app. Okay. All right.
I think that for any
Oh,
users
okay.
that haven't done this, it is kind of hard to find, but once you find it and just fumble through it, it is, I don't like it as somebody who's made creative shorts. I really don't like just these clips.
Mm,
However, it's not about what I like, right? Like if YouTube, I have this underlying theory which I'm sort of testing and I don't have enough data for, but what if YouTube likes them? You make a long
yeah.
form, you've spent the time to make the long form. We know that YouTube likes long form because they want viewers watching on YouTube. And then you go into the studio and use more of their tools and promote it this way. Then I have this suspicion that YouTube actually likes those better than our creative ones because it's all kind of tied together, tied to that machine. And it's a suspicion.
Uh,
That's just a Renee like theory
you know, the,
suspicion.
the AI in studios says to do it, or in Chat GPT, what take it for what it's worth. But then you got the gurus, and as that, like, I don't know if you've seen the video where like there's one guy that says, "Oh, this is that sub I just did to my short. That's gonna hurt my channel because they're gonna be they're gonna get my impressions, and they're not going to see it, and that's gonna affect. Then YouTube's not gonna push my long video because a sub didn't click it. Is there truth to that?
Right.
I don't
So
think so. I mean, who knows what's true and not just because some guru said it. Is that true? Maybe there's I don't know, but the reason I actually was gonna stop doing shorts, but I think I might do them now because of you, Renee. Of this, just
no, it's
because
just that
I've
there.
had
I want to
because
shoot
40.
over. If you don't mind, Kyle, I want to bring Bruce into the
Yeah,
conversation a little. He's
right.
been quiet. So, Bruce, as somebody who's never done shorts, and you have, in my mind, the most pristine, clean channel. And what I mean by that, I do want to, no, but I want to preface this because what Kyle and I have been back and forth on is there's all this advice out there. And you are in this like clean, pristine position. You haven't tainted it with shorts yet. You haven't like done like our cheese break videos or anything.
Yes,
You've just you're like
yes,
so methodical and you're
yes.
staying your course. So as somebody in that position, I'd like to hear kind of maybe some of the thoughts you're thinking as we're having this discussion.
Well, my initial thought is that I think YouTube is adding more of a preference to shorts, um, be, just based on the fact that they've modified the home screen and they allow more shorts to be seen on the home screen than they ever used to. Some years ago, they used to have long form thumbnails that were like as many as 12 on the home screen. Now I think they've limited it to 3 or 4 long form thumbnails, and then right below it is a line of shorts. Um, so I mean, I think they're definitely trying to break through the market of short content, competing with TikTok and Instagram. And listen, my reluctance to using it isn't necessarily because I think I hate it or it's a bad thing. It's more from I just feel like being a creator, it's not something that I'm accustomed to because I don't really watch them. You know, I can't say I don't watch them. There are a couple very, very funny creators out there. When I come across shorts, and I enjoy watching them, I really do. Um, so yeah, like I said, based on this conversation, I was really kind of hoping that you guys would maybe sway me one way or the other to either get it out of my head completely because it's not worth it, or maybe invest the time to try a couple of them. And based on Peter's suggestion, maybe clip up and Kyle's suggestion, clip up the hook portion of it while it's still scheduled to be released, and then maybe list it a day or two prior to the long form video coming out, and maybe just putting a link in the description or stating on um, the video, it's the short form video itself, like link in the description, or visit our channel for the full video, or
You can
something
do it,
like that.
just, but it won't be pastable. But there's like a related shorts or a related video that you can put, just kind of like with your long form that you can put it. Sorry, I just wanted to add that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, because I'm just showing
Uh,
my ignorance of how it doesn't
mhm.
work. I mean,
Right. No, but
but I could
Yeah,
educate myself
Kyle's
about it.
that's
Right.
very important for viewers. If you haven't done this remix thing, I think if you do it, it automatic, or at least in my thing where it's after the fact, it's
Yes, if you
automatically
remix
linked.
it, yes.
Yes, but maybe if we do it Peter's way, just double check that it links to your long form video.
Hmm.
So, Bruce, you didn't answer the question. So, as we sit right now, based on what we've had for a conversation on a scale of 100%, like where do you lean? Like you think you're on a fence still? Do you think, yeah, 100% you want to try it? Because I'd
Yeah,
like to
no, I
hear,
mean,
go
yeah,
ahead.
I do, I want to answer your question, and I feel like I'll be able to answer it, but I needed a couple more questions answered before I do. Like, I'm hearing two phrases that I'm unfamiliar with. One is creative shorts, and the other one is clipped uh, or
Yeah. Remix.
Remix.
remixed.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just I'm uneducated about it, so I was just kind of hoping that maybe you guys can describe what the difference between the two of those is. The
Hmm.
way that I thought shorts worked was that if I upload a video that's within a certain time frame, maybe like 60 seconds or something like that, YouTube will automatically view that as a short and post it as a short. Am I wrong about that?
You're actually, yeah, you are kind of wrong about that. So only
Okay.
because you could have a 30-second video that you could actually classify as a long form if you wanted. So you
Okay.
actually, but the converse is true in that if it's over, I think they changed it. I think it's now 3 minutes, but
I
don't
think it's
quote. Is it 3 minutes? Okay.
I think it's
Because when
3 minutes.
I started with shorts, it was like 2 minutes.
Hmm.
But so you can take any video and make it a long form. There's like no restrictions or,
Hmm.
nothing to prohibit you from calling a 30-second video a long form. But if you
Okay.
want something to be a short, it has to be under 3 minutes. So if you have a two
Okay.
minute and 50-second video, you have the choice to upload it as a short or a long form. So
Okay.
to answer that question. And then
And then what were the two
yeah, so a
differences between?
creative,
Okay.
I'll answer the creative short and then, or I'll just quickly answer this and then, so basically what Kyle and I are referring to as creative shorts is when I sit down and I say, I have this idea of a video I want to make and I'm going to make it under 3 minutes. So if I go out in
Okay.
my yard and I want to get a quick clip of Bert and Ernie chasing off the squirrel and it comes into a minute and 30 seconds and then I maybe puts kind of actually Cobus cattails, right? Her
Hmm.
shorts are what I would consider creative shorts. Like
Hmm.
her shorts are her content. So
Hmm.
if you've
Okay.
watched a lot of her content, she does her quotes, she shows her kitties, and then she's been adding a lot more like little fun things like smiley faces or arrows, and she's been learning like editing techniques, which is awesome. And her shorts are completely creative,
Hmm.
and they stand alone as a like a full short. When
Yeah.
you do the remix, I hate it. I'm a creative person. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I love fantasy. I love storytelling. So I literally hate like taking my long form and having this bar and almost like what you do with a if you have a just a video in your phone that you're trying to snip because you only want one
Okay.
little section to send it to somebody, and you have to move this bar and
Hmm.
it's only in the
It's
it's
a
only in that
pain.
frame that you can clip. So you can't like clip
Okay.
this section and then this section and put them together, which I think would be amazing.
You can do
No,
it
you
in
have to.
CapCut. I did that for one. Sorry,
Oh,
but I
you
did that
were?
in
Oh, you'll have
CapCut
to show
though.
me.
In CapCut, I did that. I actually did like my weirdest moments from the one where I had the face paint, I had the virus or whatever. I
Yeah.
did all the weirdest stuff with me with the cheese and everything, and I made a
But
short.
and
I
then
made like a 15-second short out of it. So you
uh
can go into CapCut and do
so
it
you
that
went
way
into
too.
CapCut though. You didn't do it
Yeah,
right. You didn't do it
correct,
right from the YouTube app.
correct.
Correct.
But it's
Yeah.
an idea,
I could do it. I could take a long form and do that. I'm talking about if
right?
you just do a remix.
Correct. You
So
can't.
for
Yeah,
anybody out there who's
yeah.
thinking like my theory's correct in that YouTube might like the remix better because it keeps you in all their systems and in all their
Hmm.
programs and it feeds people to the long form, which YouTube wants people to watch, then I don't like it because you have this bar and you can clip up to, is it 60
60.
seconds, Kyle?
You can do 15 or 60, and you can make it like you can shrink the bar too, but then it gets so finicky. You can make it like 7 seconds, or like the one I just did,
Yeah.
I did 20. I made it 60 and I brought it down to 20 seconds, and then I messed up and the last word I couldn't, I was like, it's
Does that
so
make
finicky.
sense, Bruce? Did we answer it? So in the remix, you take your long form, whether it's already live or whether it's just scheduled, and you have to do it through your phone and on your phone, which I hate as well because you got
Hmm.
fat fingers and you move
Yeah.
this thing and you're allowed to clip like up to 60 seconds of your video and
Mhm.
that's all you get like that. And if you I video my long forms sideways, so then it formats it to vertical, and
Okay.
I do also lose, at least in mine, a lot of like there was one where I did it with the Bert and Ernie and it cut the crow out completely. So for a split second, you're looking at a tree like with nothing in it.
And
But
there were
Yeah.
text that got completely cut off, but people don't seem to on the last one I just did, like the text is like cheesyitis is cut
right.
off and stuff, but people
They
don't
are
seem to mind.
super messy and super sloppy, and for a perfectionist creator like myself, like it's like oh it's like nails on a chalkboard. But that
Yeah.
being said, they do drive views. I haven't done a lot of them, I think, because I don't love them, but I probably should maybe double down on them as Kyle is like, I mean, they almost take no time because they're sloppy and messy, and you just drag it and say, okay, this is a good clip. Why
Right.
not? And then you post it. However, to go back to
Well,
what Peter was saying and Kyle was saying, maybe I use them really as hook strategy testing only. And
right,
if nothing else, and that solves my creative problem because I'm just going to clip that first bit every single time.
right, right. Yes, I mean, so to answer your question, now that I've got a little bit more background on, how they're created and, the ease of either using one or the other, yeah, I'm definitely gonna take a look at creating some short form clips.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Just to add
and I definitely did mine on, like I said, old videos, and I thought, oh, I should go back through and make them for all of them. And I know we've even talked about like, do we go back and change titles and thumbnails on older videos, especially as our channels do continue to grow slightly.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
I'll try it. I can guarantee that I'm not going to be a Jenny Hoyas. I don't know if you know who she is, but she's a young female. Uh, I think she started out at maybe Instagram or something like that, but she's absolutely cracked the code with shorts.
mhm.
I knew of her from years ago.
What,
Uh,
Jenny Hoyos?
yeah,
OS.
Hoyas, I think.
Yes, I know
OS.
her.
Yeah, yeah.
Before we get
She's
to
on
her, I
Daryl
just
Eves
wanted to
and
like Linda's joined us in the chat. So Linda wants to share that she has done a lot of shorts and she really enjoys doing them, but she hasn't seen them necessarily add any value to her long form video. And she's done random shorts and also shorts that point towards her long form. And she's finding that she feels that the audiences are different, that she'll get subscribers, but they don't necessarily convert into actually become regular viewers, are her words.
yeah,
So, and
and
I think I've experienced a lot of those same things. So that's just one more, voice in the mix. We've kind of already hashed
yeah,
through that. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
I don't think it's anything that maybe you're doing wrong. It's just that type of a viewer who consumes that type of content isn't interested in sitting around for even a 5 minute video, more or less a 10-minute video.
Mhm.
They want the quick scroll, they want the 60 seconds, the 30 seconds, and they just want to move
right.
on to the next one. And, they just don't want to devote the time to some long form content.
Right.
And so, that was my initial hesitation with doing it to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
But the one
So,
thing, if I can add,
mhm.
I got 48 views off of my shorts. Like I know it's 2%. So it's not a lot, but it's something. Like I got 40 more views, eyes on my long form. It's not a lot. It's 2%. It's just enough. Is it worth it? Is it not? So I wouldn't do them expecting you're gonna blow up your channel or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah.
think it's if you can get more eyes on your long form, even if it's 2% or whatever. Now, does it poison? Does it hurt? Am I hurting my channel like the gurus say it? Then it's bad. But if it doesn't hurt, then
Right.
But
Well, to add really quick to that thought, Bruce is really the one like that again has that pristine channel.
hmm
So I can imagine, like I already felt like, I already messed my channel up because I started with shorts first. And then I
yep.
feel like if you start with shorts and then want to convert over, I feel like that's a really hard road as I'm learning. Very
You can
hard
still
road,
grow though. It's not as
right?
quick.
No,
It's not as
but it's
quick,
been
but you
very
can still
fun
grow.
and very educational.
hmm
However, but like to your credit of like what I'm trying to think of why would I advise Bruce not to do it. And I don't think I could because I really, my mathematical brain says views drive subscribers, and subscribers are unfortunately a big part of monetization. And I think if we take time out of the equation, like time in like how fast can I blow up my channel and have everything I dream of to be successful, then there really isn't anything we can try or do that's bad, whether it's a cheese break video or adding shorts in. And that's why I love these conversations, because these are real conversations from people who are all under 1,000 subscribers right now, and we're learning from each other. Like, hey, we can take a cheese break, and it didn't blow your channel up in the wrong way.
Oh, I don't know.
And
My
Yeah.
my second old guy didn't do anything, so I'm wondering, did I?
but I don't think
I don't know.
I don't honestly
It
think you
doesn't make
did anything.
sense. The
But
first,
that's my point, is I think at this stage, in some regards, most of our data is maybe not as meaningful as we would want it to be. There's a
no,
doctor I love watching, Dr. Berg on YouTube, and he kind of takes all the fads that are out there, all the fad diets and all these things, and he breaks them down. And he's a former Olympian, and he tests them on himself. And so he'll be like, "Oh, I'm doing this fast," and he does blood work before and after, and he shows results. But he said something in
Okay.
his last video that I loved. He said, "You guys got to realize that I'm N1, which means this is a sample population of one person."
no.
He's like, "So yes, I'm giving you all of my metrics of what I looked like when I started this diet and what it looked like when I ended this diet, but it's statistically not a good sample size."
Yeah,
So,
because it's one person,
because it's
right?
one person. And so that's where, talking to creators and making it my mission to just talk to creators, the more I realize that statistically, I think most of the advice out there isn't great for us, because we try things and we get you don't have enough data, the
Mhm.
A/B testing, all these sorts of things. So I personally can't think of a reason for Bruce not to do it, even though I've had the question of, did I ruin my channel by mixing them? Like Kyle, you just said, well, did I ruin my channel when I did my cheese break because you had a good video, did your cheese break, and then your next one didn't perform like your
Right,
aged cheddar? And I
right.
think that those thoughts, we need to kind of eliminate them, because it's kind of like based on what?
Yeah, I hear everyone say that too. They have a video go viral, and the next one will be just then we'll do. Yeah, so it's
Right.
probably just in my head, right?
Well, it is. It's more in
No.
our heads, I think, than we realize.
Right.
So, but to bring it back to shorts, and because there are other people I know, I haven't seen Tracy in here, or maybe she is because there's a few comments. But Tracy's channel is strictly a shorts creative channel,
Yeah.
and Bruce, like you said, Jenny Hoyos. Um, I'm like a huge fan of hers, and so if you're
She's great.
and she's amazing, and she started when she was
Yeah.
18, and she
Hmm.
sat down and she looked at all of the analytics of shorts. And I know, Cheddar, you just subscribe. I have a shorts channel that I started
Yeah.
like 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and it was all fantasy, and it's
Yeah.
all shorts, and
I
it
have to
was
check it out. Yeah.
yeah, and it's faceless because I
Yeah.
was afraid to be on YouTube, and I haven't done anything with it in, I don't know, forever. But it's still there because I put all this work into it. And it was watching Jenny and following her tips and tricks on shorts specifically that
Hmm.
that helped me get better at shorts, specifically creative shorts, and how you have to have the hook and keep even, and
Mhm.
I mean, she got so specific in her mechanics. She
Yeah.
looked at like, when did people fall off, and she learned if you trimmed the video from 60 seconds to 43 seconds, that her retention went up. And
Yeah.
I was able to, on that Strictly Shorts channel, accomplish like, really growth just from following all those specific techniques. So, however, those all go out the window if you're using the remix feature,
Mhm.
because the remix feature alone through YouTube, not a CapCut or not loading it into iMovie and doing your own little short, um, it's not creative. You don't control the storyline. So you can't give a 34-second storyline because you get a 34-second, whatever that 34 seconds is. So,
Yeah.
I had one thing.
yeah,
I do think, about CapCut. I think Peter's saying too. I think you can go into CapCut and cut out your shorts too. It might be a little easier. And the one I did, it got like 1,000 views. The one that I kind of did my best moments of, the best 15 seconds of my long form, it got 1,000 views. So it was still pushing that. So I think remixing, we're talking about, do you remix or can you use CapCut, cut the short, and then you have to, and CapCut. I have to ask ChatGPT. I don't do it much, but there's a way to change the format. You can make it into the short, whatever, and then
right.
you can do it from there too. So I think either way is fine. I just wanted to
Is
add that.
your, let me ask you this though, is your CapCut, do you have the free version or do you pay?
Okay.
Yeah. So you pay. I have like so many different things that I already pay for. So
Yeah.
like me personally, I'm not looking to add another editing
Right.
software subscription.
Right.
So that's just for any viewers out there that are maybe wanting to even try that. Kyle,
I
because
don't
I
think
think
you
I
have to
went in and
pay
I
though to
downloaded
do
it
that. Yeah.
and I couldn't do anything
Oh.
without with the free one. They give you like one free one with all their branding on it, like that kind of
Okay.
thing. It's not what
You
I
can
was.
cut it though. I think you can cut that off. I think.
Yeah, I did. I know.
Okay. All right.
But still it
Yeah.
was like one free one, or they give you like one a month or something. It
Okay.
wasn't
Okay.
anything
Oh.
where
Okay.
if I was really going to test the
Okay.
method, and trust me, I'm all for paying for subscriptions that are going to grow your business because you got to
Right.
treat
Yep.
your YouTube channel like a
Mm-hmm.
business. But
Yep.
I also know that
Investment
when
of
we're
the
new
cheese.
and we're starting out, we subscribe to a lot more things than we have to. Like
Yep.
so much more than we actually have to. So I've pulled mine way back and I have like 2 subscriptions and I'm trying to keep it there unless it was like absolutely necessary.
Yep.
So I probably wouldn't do mine through CapCut. If I was going to spend the time to do it, then I'll just do it through the editing software I have. But I think that brings up a question in the same dialogue. So Peter makes a good point. He says his shorts pros are that you get more views, more exposure, and that the cons would be YouTube also thinks X amount of people saw your video, so it hurts you that way because nobody subscribed
Or watched it.
or watched it.
Or if
So,
subscribers don't watch it. That's what I've heard hurts your channel. The subscribers don't watch it because they're short.
yeah, but I mean, but let's think about this. Like, if they click on are we saying they didn't watch your short all the way through, or are we saying that they didn't click onto the long form?
Well, both. Well, what the gurus are saying is like you got short, you got say because I'm kind of like I'm not I got more short subscribers than I do long form, but that's changing, right? There's the gurus is saying that YouTube's not going to push your long form video because short viewers are going to get the impressions, they're subs, and they're not going to click on it because they're not
Right,
sub viewers. That's what I was talking about
right.
in that specific scenario.
Okay, so
Um,
can I stop you there really quick
Yes.
just to bring Bruce into it?
Yes.
So, with what you just said, which is my understanding too, right? That YouTube would say, "Oh, well, all these people viewed and nobody subscribed or watched, and your longs won't get pushed." Now we have
Mhm.
Bruce who has a pristine channel, and I think what we need to ask ourselves is pushed in what context? Are we all subliminally like trying to get that viral long form video? Because if we ask Bruce, do you feel like right now your long forms are being pushed?
No.
Right. And he hasn't tainted it with
Right.
shorts.
And
Right.
I've
So
had stuff that got pushed. Right. And mine's tainted. Like ours are tainted, and we've had stuff that's gotten
right.
put. So
So
I don't think the gurus are. I don't think they're right on that.
well, I don't think I maintain, and I don't mean this belligerently, I maintain that they're not right on a lot of things. I
Yeah.
think what happens as small creators is we inherently feel like we've done something wrong. So whether Bruce is sitting in this conversation thinking, wow, maybe I should have been doing these shorts, like I missed the boat on that. Or, Kyle, you said it earlier, like you question your cheese break.
Yeah.
I
So,
know for a fact I've questioned everything, like every step of the way. I started
yeah.
with creative shorts. I didn't, and even now, like I'm loving what I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
100%. Like it's so much fun. And I still feel like, should I be talking about my crows more? Should I be doing this more? Because
Right.
I think there's this underlying, our human brains are taking things and saying I think it's that, trying to articulate this. We have this underlying assumption that either haven't worked hard enough or we messed up or we screwed up. And I think that that's just how, because our culture and how we're raised of work hard to produce X result. So when we don't see X result, whatever X result is, we float back to it's something that we've inherently done wrong. And not that it's a complex algorithm that decides what it's going to push, regardless if we throw shorts into it or not. Um,
Right.
Linda, really quick, is saying there's so much contradictory advice that she doesn't think that anyone really knows what the secret is, which again is, I think, what we come back to, like, as part of this whole conversation. So, just by the last thread we were talking about is Bruce, where are you now? Like even after this last diatribe of conversation, are you still thinking like, "Hey, I want to try shorts"?
What's it gonna hurt?
Uh, well, I mean, what can it hurt? I mean, we talked about, maybe the algorithm viewing your newer videos as not being successful. If any of those subscribers from your short form content aren't clicking on any of your new
Are your
long form
videos getting
videos,
pushed now? Are your videos getting pushed now though?
uh,
Not really, right? So
no,
I just say I don't know if you have anything to lose. I don't know. I wouldn't
Right.
do it like expecting huge results. Like I think it's like 2%. It's helping my long form like 2%. Any little thing, you know, helps.
yeah,
Like I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah, and I remember Linda telling us it's like a dopamine hit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah, it is.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
I I think I
I got
think the only
500 views in
reason
a sub, you know.
yeah.
It's
I think the only reason
something.
for Bruce not to would be for Bruce to um, keep his channel so pristine and clean. That would be like only for me from the scientist and running experiments, side of things.
We're
That
mad
how long
scientists.
does it take? Because we've already established he doesn't feel that YouTube is pushing his content. However, views to subscriber ratio, he has a better metric than myself or you do, right?
I would say long form, I think there's a better chance. I've been getting more subs off of my long form. I don't think it's 1 to 1,000 off. I wish I would do it. I think it's my long forms are getting better at getting subs. Like what was it? My H Cheddar, my first one, I had 400 views and 11 subs.
Yeah. But
So,
that wasn't views. Actually, if you remember, it was impressions. So actually, that's a really good clarification.
oh, was
We
it? Okay.
It was impressions and not views.
Oh, okay.
that's
Oh
right.
man.
Yeah,
All right, everybody listening, we have to throw this whole conversation out
Yeah.
the window.
No, but
Because
yeah.
it was based on impressions because I had a one-off video that got almost
Oh,
15,000 impressions. And your age cheddar, you said, was just under 10,000 impressions, correct?
Okay, yes, okay,
Yeah, so it's not
yeah,
just strictly views because you could have a
yes.
really awesome, happy person who watches it like 3 times.
Yep. Hey, I want to add one thing for Bruce too. I
Yeah.
researched the unique viewers. That's not people who have never viewed your channel. That's just like if I watch your video, and I've done that, Bruce. If I watch your video twice, I watch it today and I watch it tomorrow, I'm only going to be one
okay.
unique viewer. So just a heads up for I researched it. You can research it too, but unique viewers are not people who've never saw your channel before. It's people like the scenario that I just explained. So if I watch it once, I'm a unique viewer. But if I watch it like 3 times, that unique viewer is still going to stay one. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I thought that's what we were trying to get at, is that
Yeah.
somebody who's never seen the video before coming in with
But that's
fresh
not what a
eyes.
unique viewer is. That's not what a unique viewer is. Because I watched your video today, and I think I did watch it twice. But I'll be in your metrics as one unique viewer, even though I visited your channel before.
Okay.
Does
I'll
that
Yeah.
make
look at
sense?
that. Yep.
Right. So yeah, unique viewer isn't like new viewers, like
Correct.
completely unknown to you. So I think the reason why unique viewer would matter in metrics that we're looking at is if you have 100 subscribers, and if all your subscribers watched your content, then you should have 100 unique
Correct.
viewers.
Yeah. And if
So
they all watched it twice, you would still have 100 unique
100
viewers.
unique viewers,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but that's actually, a good clarification, um, because I think if I stop to think about it, I know what you were saying, Kyle, but sometimes, again, as we get discussing things, like we messed up. It's not really views, it's actually impressions.
Yeah.
So I guess the
And what,
argument for pushing views to get, using shorts to push views to get subscribers, doesn't necessarily work. And I don't know that I have any data, Kyle, if you do, on the impressions for my shorts, because I didn't really look at that. But I haven't really done a lot, to be honest with you. I've done a handful, and again, for the reasons we already discussed. Like I don't find it creatively entertaining.
Right.
So I guess that would be my other argument for Bruce not to do it is, he keeps his channel pristine, but anything that you do, it takes time away from he's so clean and perfect on his schedule that I would say don't add anything that would interrupt that. If you can add to it at whatever convenience and leisure that you can, I kind of don't think it'll hurt as much as maybe we think it would based on data that we collect. But
yeah.
I think that's where it could hurt you, is if we start to spend too much time, doing one thing, that you lose your, consistency with everything that you've built. Because I know that every time I take on something new, like this live or doing my interviews, like it's one more thing in your plate, and it's one more thing. It's like, okay, I have to stay consistent.
Mhm.
So yeah, I would say, and it just goes back to my crows. I think in the long run, consistency is going to be, I think that's going to be what separates everybody, is the consistency, because there is no beating the algorithm or cheating it to a fast, a viral moment. I mean, you could get a viral moment, and I hope for any of us that it happens. It would be cool.
Mhm.
I don't want to cheat it. I just want to understand it.
Right. I think we all do. I think, and that's why there's so much content out there about this. I mean, we ourselves are producing content right now about the algorithm and what's going on. But our goal is to kind of shed light on, let's have the conversations and actually learn things to work with. So I would
Yeah.
hope that the takeaway from today is maybe we consider using shorts the way Peter does, because he actually schedules them as, you know, up and coming video trailers.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could try them the way I've done them, which is after the fact, which maybe you don't have time. Maybe you're not super organized and you end up posting your video and you go back. Like Bruce has the opportunity to really think about this. He could spend some time and go back to all of his 2 videos per week for the last 90 days. He's got a lot of content that you
Short
could
on your
that
hook.
you could just create shorts from.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it'll hurt because I personally think if you make a video and it gets out there, somebody might see it and come to your channel. So in Bruce's context, when I watch, I have people that I watch like the way he watches. It's like I go to them because they're testing something or they're trying something or they're showing you how something works. And they all have shorts. And I'll see their shorts when I'm doom scrolling. And sometimes it lets me know like, oh, they have a video that because I'm not like so much on YouTube that I'm just always consumed. But like, so I don't always know whose new video is where, and the shorts actually help me find them. So I think if
Yeah.
they're used that way, I think it's a good takeaway.
I'm
And
sorry to interrupt you. Did Peter indicate whether or not he clips up his video, or does he take the trimmed snippet from the app and schedules that?
he didn't say that. I think he did talk about CapCut. Let me scroll.
I'm
And
just
Peter,
curious if he
Peter,
was
if you're
just using the
listening
hook
still and you
or.
want to answer that, Peter says one short will not ruin a channel. He also said, Bruce, you should try one short and just watch for a week and see if there's any results. Uh, and let's see, there are gurus. He said, don't listen to the gurus. I'm just trying to see. If you use CapCut, they have shorts templates where you can just add your own pictures or videos and anything, and then you're good to go. So he doesn't really say if that's how he's doing them. But he says he's done
Yeah,
a
I was
lot
just
of them.
curious.
He enjoys doing them. He does not think that they add any value to long form videos.
Okay.
They add a little. They might add a little because I was gonna quit shorts, and I'm gonna after this I'm gonna go back to doing them because just because I got even if it's 2%, it's not one thing that it's like a million little things that's gonna help, right? So this is 2% that hey, I got 48 views, and I don't know, did one of those turn into a sub? Probably not, but what if I get 100 views off of shorts eventually? Maybe that'll turn into a sub, and maybe that will, as long as it doesn't hurt, just because I got the 2% of those people to go to the long form, that's extra eyes on my long form. It's better than nothing.
Right.
It's a little bit. It's just enough to be debatable, which makes it for a fun discussion. But
Well, exactly. And so you have Peter telling you like he's done a lot of them and he likes doing them and he is doing them. But he's saying don't expect a lot out of them.
yeah, don't expect a
And
ton. But it's a
right. And
little.
then but Kyle is saying like he's looking at it and he actually feels like there is some value. My hunch is there absolutely is value. I can't believe that the algorithm would exist and they wouldn't put all these features together unless they want people doing this and driving traffic. As you yourself has explained, Bruce, it's YouTube's job is to keep people on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of where my mindset is like if I keep it all in YouTube, is there any benefit? Now I can't say I've
Yeah, for
truly
sure.
tested that well enough, but I think it's about managing expectations. At the end of the day, anything we
Mm-hmm.
do as creators, we need to manage our expectations.
Yes.
So if anybody comes across this video later and you have anything to add to the crow's nest in the comments, feel free to tell us what's worked or what hasn't worked, because as you can tell, there's even a debate within the small creators of, how do we proceed and what works best. And feel free to reach out to us and watch our different channels and ask questions because that's ultimately why we're here. This is ultimately why we're having these discussions. So I'm going to start wrapping it up. And I do feel really bad that, we kind of swapped in views over impressions. At the end of the day, I think impressions are the fully driving metric, but all of it, my position is I'm with Kyle. I think I need to double down more on shorts, but I need to find a system and do it correctly and methodically without hurting the core content. Because as somebody who did just a shorts channel and this morph channel where I started with shorts and then morphed it, this one's been harder, but the more you get into the long form, the more rewarding it actually is. And I wish Tracy was in our comments because she's strictly shorts and she has a really good audience. I mean, I think she's close to 1,000 subs and she has good engagement even in her comments. But I'm going to argue it's because of her and who she is that has driven, that has driven those comments because she's absolutely amazing. So anybody wants to check out just a shorts channel, if you've got a really short attention span, go see Cobus Cattails. She's amazing. You won't regret it.
Hey, did we answer your question, Bruce? What do we mean by creative shorts while just ripping stuff from our long form?
Say that again?
Did we answer your question, Bruce, as far as what are creative shorts besides just ripping from our long form?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you answered it.
Yeah, okay, cool. So
yeah, I mean, at this point, I have to try to decide whether or not I have the bandwidth to, try to learn a new skill when it comes to that. Because it sounds like it might be better for me to maybe use CapCut to try to cut up some shorts for that. And, because I have, quite a few coaching calls and, I do mentorship workshops and so I don't have a whole lot of time, to fit a new skill in while still building the skills that I need to try to improve on my own channel and stuff. So,
I mean, the remix, it took me, once you get familiar with the remix, that's the thing, there's a little bit of a learning curve. But the short I did today took me like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, maybe, once you get the hang of it. But
so that's really interesting, Bruce. So I know it's kind of a little bit off topic, but you say you have mentorships. So you in mentorships to help you grow your channel?
No, mentorships that I provide to families and men.
For you, man.
Yeah. Do you advertise it on your channel?
I do. I've actually got this is the other reason why I want to hold off on shorts right now, because I have probably a 3-video series that's going to come out, and I want to see how those are going to perform. They're specifically geared toward families and communications in the home. And I'm coupling that with the freebie offer that I offer on my videos, where I give a free guide away, because a lot of the information that I have in the guide corresponds to some of the topics that I'll be talking about in the videos. So I'm trying to gain some more traction with that and see where it goes.
Excellent.
Good dude, Bruce. Appreciate you, man.
So, I mean, you kind of told us where you were at, and then Kyle, do you want to give quick closing thoughts for yourself?
I just want to say, like, those people that tell you don't do shorts, don't listen to them. Because I don't think my channel would be where it is right now if I wouldn't have you use shorts, because they have a purpose. Like, if you're just learning, that they're great, because it's easier to do a 20-second video than it is to do a 5-minute video. So they're great for a learning block, and that's probably the biggest thing that they've helped me with. Did they help me grow they absolutely helped me grow my channel, because I don't think I would be where I am without getting those steps, getting the reps in with the shorts. Now, are they helping my long form a ton? Probably like 2%, a little bit, but it's still better than nothing. So I just and my channel hasn't gotten poisoned, because I've had stuff that got 400 views, even though I've had shorts. So I just don't listen. I think don't listen to the people that tell you don't ever do it, because it's helped me. It's good to help to get practice and stuff. If you're not like Bruce is already there. He came out of the box like being like the way he is. I had to kind of take baby steps. I had to crawl first, but they helped me crawl. So anyway,
Yeah,
thank you.
thanks for that. So, and I guess my final last takeaway is just, come hang out on our channels and talk to us. We have an amazing community.
Absolutely.
And we are so willing to talk about what we're doing, what's working, and how we can all help each other. So just shake off that shyness and just use your fingers.
Well, yeah, we have to plug ourselves, right? Watch
Right.
Cheddar Boy E. You will watch Cheddar Boy E. You will watch Built Not Hacked. You will watch Imperfect like a cat. Meow. Oh, there's my cheesy
That's
itis.
perfect. So we have a lot of fun, and we'll be back with you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks,
and
Renee. Thanks, Bruce.
Yeah.
Fun time. Appreciate
Thank
you guys
you.
a lot. You guys are good people. Appreciate it.
So let me. All right, I think I ended the stream. So that went better. See, I learned. We were a little